Just let me do this here. I'm with you 2 seconds.
We'll start with Kirsty first, guy.
Right, Kirsty.
Merry Christmas.
You too.
Well, it was a very wet training session this morning. Saw some of it. There was no James Maddison for the bit I saw. What's the situation with him? Can he be involved on Boxing Day?
Well, we're going to give it every chance, Kirsty, to see where he's at. But he's had some ongoing issues with his knee for a little bit of time. So I'll just assess that over the next couple of days.
What's his state of mind like? Because obviously, he was so delighted to make that World Cup squad, and the fact he had this niggling injury, and he was unable in the end to play any minutes for England. Was he frustrated at that he didn't get any chance? And were you frustrated as his manager?
No, listen, of course you would like to see your players get the opportunity, but I had a long debrief with James afterwards when he came back in, and he was very grateful for the opportunity to be there. He knows that if needed, he was able to impact it. But no, he's come away from that with great experience and even greater motivation to establish himself within the squad. So he done a brilliant job leading into the finals to get himself into the squad, and hopefully now going forward he can use that experience of being there with the camp and look to be in a few more competitions.
He had been in such incredible form before the break. Are you confident that, given this niggle that he's got, that he can get back to that form as quickly as possible?
Yeah, well, he's been consistent really for about 18 months now, so hopefully, like I say, with availability and I get no doubt in his talent and get him fit, and I'm pretty sure we'll see that same level.
We're approaching January. How are your plans shaping up? Do you expect to be busier during this transfer window than you were in the last?
Yeah, but we have a couple of areas that we would like to improve, so we hope to be able to do that. It's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and like you say, hopefully in January we can improve the depth of the squad.
What are the key areas that you might be looking at? Obviously you've got some injuries to contend with. Do they shape your thinking? Yeah,
most definitely. I think it's clear we've obviously lost a number of our fullbacks, so we'll look at the left back position as an area to improve, and also for an out and out winger on the right hand side is one that we would definitely look at.
How are you finding the market? Do you sort of expect there to be much movement over the next few weeks?
There probably will be, yeah. I think that if there's the availability of player, and it's a difficult market, but there's always good players that you can sign in January as well. So, but it's just not about signing players; it's about signing the right one. And if the right ones are available, then of course we would like to be able to do that.
But there's certainly more leeway for you as sort of more funds being freed up now.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I think that challenging summer for us, of course, but yeah, come January, we've looked at that and looked at obviously what we do have available, and we hope to be able to spend that wisely.
What sort of conversations have you had with Youri Tielemans? Because obviously he'll be free to speak to foreign clubs in January, given the 6 months left on his contract. Have you spoken to him any further, and what's his state of mind about that?
No, I haven't spoken to him since he's come back at any great length on it. It's something that's ongoing between the club and himself. For me, my concentration is on him, the player, and of course I'd love him to be here. You can see he loves being here. But like I said, it's a big contract for him, so he'll be taking his time to decide what it is he's going to do. But in the meantime, he's top professional, working very hard, and he's a joy to work with.
You're getting ready to face a Newcastle side that are currently third in the Premier League table. What have you made to them this season? Yeah,
no, they've done and made a great start to the season. No, they're a very good side. They've got good physicality in the team and good quality. I think Eddie's done a fantastic job since he's gone in there. So if you look on the field, Newcastle, they've signed players that have really improved the squad and the dynamic of the team. They've had talented players in there, but the players they brought into the back line in particular and goalkeeper really gives them, that real dominance in the back line, and that gives the base for the rest of the team to work. So Eddie's done a fantastic job there and with those players. And I think, I look at Newcastle and I think off the field as well. You bring in Dan Ashworth, who's a top operator in the game as a sporting director. Darren Eales was another guy that who's come into the background and into an executive role, and he's outstanding at his work. And of course you then have the supporters of Newcastle, which give a great intensity to the game. So I think overall they're trying to build something there, do it the right way, implement a style of football that's exciting, aggressive, and like I say, on and off the field I think they're only going to improve and get better. So yeah, it's a really good game for us.
Do you expect to still see them there in the shake-up for the title race come the end of the season?
Well, I think there's still a long way to go. It's, the experiences that I've had here when you're up there in those positions is that you need some luck as well with injury. And I said the same thing about Arsenal last year. I felt that they could have been in the top four as long as they keep their best players available. It happened to us where towards the end of our 2 seasons when we just missed out on Champions League, we didn't have our best players available, and that's a challenge. But I'm pretty sure that Newcastle will strengthen their squad, and if they do that, then with the players they have already there, I'm sure there'll be a big motivation to stay there.
Hi.
Okay. Hi.
What does Christmas look like for you and the players this year?
Yeah, well, we'll be in on Christmas Day in training, so we've had a period where we've had some rest, and then the players have worked really, really hard and done some great work over these last weeks, and now it's back into what would be normal preparation. So yeah, players getting ready. We'll train on Christmas Day and be here and just finalise our plans, and then really look forward to our game on Boxing Day.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Team news-wise, we should touch on James Maddison. You've had the cup win in the week. How are you looking after that one going into the game with Newcastle?
Yeah, well, we feel in a good way. Of course, we hadn't started the season well, but the consistency along with the structure that the players have played in the last 7 to 8 weeks was absolutely brilliant, and it gave us a real foundation then, and so we hope to continue with that. So the feeling's really good. We feel we're getting back to our level again of quality, and but more importantly our defensive mentality. We weren't defending as well as we have done the last 8 games, what we did in the first 7. So it'll be much better from that perspective. So we want to continue with that mentality.
No fresh injuries from the MK Dons game, I think?
No. We'd only one, which is a real sad one for us. We lost one of our young talents, Will Alves, who came on in that MK Dons game. He actually played in. We wanted him to play in the Youth Cup game the night after, and he played in that. And obviously they went through in the tie, our under-18s, but he was taken out by one of the worst challenges I think I've seen on a football field. Which is such a shame for a young player who's 17 and really making his way in the game and making a mark in terms of his training and how he's been. So that is the only real disappointing injury for us, because he's a young player that's been in about it and around it. So we wish him a speedy recovery and getting back. And but apart from that, we're all okay.
Devastating for him. Do you know how long he's?
Well, certainly the rest of the season he'll be out for. So his rehab will start now over these next few weeks, and he'll have an operation after that.
Just finally for me, you touched on it with the praise of Eddie Howe, but I just wonder, on a coaching basis, how impressed you've been with the job he's done since he's taken over there. Of course, they've recruited well, and like you say, they've got people in good positions behind the scenes, and they have spent money, but you've still got to execute a plan, haven't you? You've still got to bring these players on, and he's done that in spades.
Yeah, done that very well. like I say, going into there and picking up the team, and they were suffering a bit, and was able to go in and galvanise them, and like you say, put in place give the team an identity as such, and a philosophy of how he wants to work. And the players, because that's the biggest thing you go into any club, is to convince the players to play how you want them to play, and he's clearly done that. And they look hungry, and they have talent. So like I say, he's done a really, really good job in the time he's been in there, and he'll look to continue that, I'm sure. Cheers.
Hi Brendan, hope you're okay.
Yeah, very good.
I wondered if I could pick on some of the other injuries that you've had, maybe longer term ones, and just get an update on those players, if that's okay. How is Ricardo doing? We saw pictures of him in Abu Dhabi. How's his recovery going?
He's doing very well. We're hoping that at some point in January, towards the middle to end, that he can rejoin the group. So that's great news. Johnny Evans not so good. Johnny had an injury against Troy, I think it was, Troy, with a couple of games. I was just thinking back on that game. Yeah, he had an issue with his calf, so unfortunately he'll be out for a period of time. Apart from that, have you got anyone else you want?
Kieran Dewsbury Hall.
Kieran's fine. Yeah. He just felt his calf a little bit in the Sheffield United game that we played behind closed doors, and but he's recovered. He's trained yesterday and today, so he's fine.
And just two final quick ones. Ryan Bertrand and James Justin, both of those had longer term injuries. How's their recovery going as well? Yeah,
Ryan's out on the field now, and still obviously not near to playing yet, but he's progressed from inside to outside now, and that's always a good sign. And JJ's just working behind the scenes doing his strength work, but he's a little bit behind those two.
You mentioned when you were talking about the January transfer window that maybe a left back, because of all those injuries, may be the place to be strengthening. Would that be a loan, or would that be a purchase to buy, do you think, in the January transfer window? I just think because of the squad size that you had pre this season, I'm trying to avoid that problem again.
Yeah, I think for us there's going to be a continuation of looking to sign players and players to move on for their careers to play elsewhere. But it's all on availability. We'll see what there is available. As I mentioned earlier, it's about getting the right players in, not just any player.
What were the key points that you wanted to address, or the key milestones you wanted to achieve during the break, whether that was in Abu Dhabi or in the kind of friendlies that you had before the start of the competitive season again?
I think it was just consolidating and reintroducing also the football ideas that has given us that mentality over the last 7-8 weeks, because it can quickly disappear when players are away in World Cups and a little bit of time off. So it was really about firstly introducing that defensive mentality in terms of organisation, just consolidating that, our aggression. We've been on a really good run of clean sheets, and that's the responsibility from the very top of the pitch to the guys on the side. So it was really consolidating why that's important for us, and giving clarity around all those roles. And then our offensive structure, just our movement, our spaces, the speed of the ball. We want to attack the games, we want to create opportunities, but also that balance of whenever you're not dominating the game, how you deal with that and that pressure, and that's something that the players have done really, really well in these last couple of months where they were playing.
On a personal level, Brendan, how excited are you? How much are you looking forward to being back out on the touchline for a Premier League game?
Yeah, very much so. I was excited the other night for a cup game against MK Dons. Just felt great again, getting my bag ready to travel and get the game in. And likewise now to be, we had 6,500, I think it was the other night at MK Dons, and so the support was great. And now Boxing Day tradition in this country should be a great game, great atmosphere, and we want to really go and attack.
Brendan, thank you very much. Merry
Thank you.
Christmas. Best of luck on
You
Boxing Day.
too. Thank you.
Okay, cheers guys. We'll wrap up the broadcast section there and we'll take some questions from our